Hey guys, my name is Meads. Welcome to my channel, and we're going to do some update and discussion. When do we start with the updates? So in front of us, you see the Iron Man Mark II Revoltech. I did acquire this along with the Black Rock Shooter Beast, and I do apologize if I call it Beast as opposed to, or I call it Blade as opposed to Beast. I wasn't really quite too sure of the name till I looked it up. It's actually Beast. I'm not too sure why. Oh well, that's really much. It doesn't really much matter. It could be Beast, Blade, or it could be something else. BRSB. So I will do a review on that one as well, and you're probably wondering why I got this one. It's actually quite interesting. It has a lineup feature that I'm not quite sure if that's the first time they did it on Revoltech, but it's pretty cool. And another thing I like about it, it's all in the silver, and it's slightly different from the usual Iron Man of having red and gold. So I really like this one. It has that unique look to it. It's kind of like War Machine in some aspect too. So yeah, that's why I got this one, and I will definitely do a review on that one. Another thing, I did get an SIC Kawami Tamashi. This is the Mask Rider Blade King form. I got this last December, and Lager26 was asking me if I ever heard of this one. I have. I haven't opened it till recently. The first time I got this one because I was curious of Kamen Rider, and I was browsing through HLG and found this, and it's actually quite interesting. Again, lately, or actually maybe it started in December, that I like the knight design, having armor. So that's another reason why I got this. So it works well. Yeah, so that's that for the Kamen Rider figure. So I will review that one as well. Alright, so let's move on. So the next topic is pretty much a discussion, and this is it might be a long one. You can just pretty much minimize YouTube. And pretty much this is in regards with a comment I got from the previous video I posted regarding BRSB, or Black Rock Shooter Beast review. And this is by Akikon. Do apologize. I'm not quite too sure how to pronounce your screen name. But Akikon commented that he's very thankful that I'm doing reviews on figures, or maybe even mold kit, that are kind of hard to get, or expensive, and being able to give my viewers an opportunity to see what it is, or see what it's like, or have some sort of feeling of what the figure or mold kit is about. And that means a lot to me. That means that someone is appreciating the work I'm doing on YouTube, the things I've been sharing, and thank you very much for that comment. It means a lot to me. And while replying on that comment, I thought of an interesting idea, which I'm gonna go discuss. So this idea of mine is, going along with having rare kits, and going with the expense of getting figures. That kind of just been circling into my head. Figure collecting is a very expensive hobby, and it's not for everyone. I can see that now, and not to mention it's not really quite productive in terms of, well, it fills up your room, and it's more negative on your in your pocket in terms of money. It doesn't really generate anything other than it improves your imagination. So that's the negative or negative view of this hobby. But on the positive side, I think this hobby is great. I'm able to because I'm the type of person who likes to think of something. I like to be working something with my hands, and I like to imagine things. Yeah. I'm creative, and bottom line, I'm a creative person, and I want to be working, or finding what do you call this, inspiration for things. So that's why I do this hobby. And where was I? Keep losing track of what I'm thinking. But I think what I'm trying to get to is, I'm kind of stuck on this hobby, and it's costing me quite a fortune. Actually, if you kind of tally it up and how much figures and how much model kits I've acquired over this several years, through my YouTube channel. And if you think about it, recently I'm getting figures, and these are just not your regular figures that you can get on the normal stores. These are from Japan, and they're expensive. They're ranging about $30 to $100. Yeah, they're quite expensive. But if you think about it, in a month, if I get 5, and let's just say they're about $30, and I know that's kind of too low range. I mean, maybe let's just put in 50. Let's just say I got 5 figures, $50 each. That's 250. Let's just make it 300, just because of shipping or whatnot. So I spend about $300 on figures a month. Just imagine that. And some of you might think that's ridiculous. I know. And I'm sure I'm not the only person who spends that much, or maybe some people out there actually spend more than me. And how do I justify that? Well, I can justify that since I have work. Some of you might find it ridiculous. I'm spending so much money, but I do have work. I think I kind of earn it. Sometimes stressful at work, or you're tired, and it's kind of rewarding going home, or you have awesome things to play around with. Keep you a little bit of entertained and keep you out of work sometimes. Just have your own place to be yourself and just play around with your figures. I know I'm kind of acting like a kid, although not really a kid anymore. But that's how I enjoy my free time. And actually, I really like doing reviews such as this one, and expanding my figure collection. And that's another thing. I want to expand my collection, or I just want to expand, or want to just try out different things. There's a lot of figure lines out there, and you kind of have a sense of that from my channel. It's not just super deformed now. I've expanded. I'm trying out these styles. That's model kit. And I'm also trying SH Monster Art, with the Godzillas. I've tried SEM Gundams. It's made by Ban Presto. I'm trying SH Figure Arts. Even the Kamen Rider now, I'm trying that too. And now the Revoltax. And now Figmas. That's a lot. And I'm not even quite sure if I have enough money to buy them all, or even collect, all the Black Rock Shooter Figmas, or all the Iron Man. Well, I'm just missing one, but still, I don't know if I can continue. Even the SH Monster Art, Space Godzilla is coming out, and I think Morgera. Am I getting those? I'm not too sure. Even the Dragon Ball ones. Am I getting Trunks or Super Saiyan 3 that are coming out? I'm not too sure myself. So there's a lot of things to try out, but I have to think about my budget. Don't have enough money to do that. And this kind of brings back to Kikon's comment of why do I just check out someone's video review of the figure, and go with that. Well, not always that's the case. I mean, I think a lot of us use video reviews to give us a good indication if that's a figure or model kit for us to buy. If is it worth it? Want to see hear out the pros and cons of that figure or model kit. And that's for the most part, that's sounds about right. But some of us, like me, I want to be able to hold a figure, just grab it on my hands, feels is different from just looking at it on the images. I don't know, have they photoshopped like this one? It looks really awesome in this, but does it look awesome on the figure itself? Am I going to see a lot of seam lines, paint mistakes, or splotches? See, that's another thing. I don't know. Like this Figma, I mean, it looks nice on the photos, but will it deliver on the figure? And acquiring it, playing around with it, it made me very satisfied that it's actually an awesome figure. And you just can't replace that, natural feeling of holding it in your hands. And that's what I want. I want to be able to try out something new. At least, or once in a while. Like I would like to try something new and just play around with it. But lately I've been finding myself that after I've played around with the figure for a bit, or even a mold kit, after I worked on it, reviewed it, and it just goes to the shelf. And I kind of move on to the next one, kind of like what I'm doing here. I'm moving to Revoltech Mark II now. It's like, whoa, what about the Black Rock shooter? What happened to that one? Or what about the other ones you're collecting? In some sense, I'm kind of neglecting them, and it's kind of like a curse. You just can't stop. You just gotta have the newest thing, and you have that feeling too. And I know it's kind of like a dilemma, and it's kind of hard to stop too. It's addicting to just trying to get the latest thing and playing around with it. And that's what I'm trying to pretty much that's what I'm trying to get to with this discussion is, what if we have a place? See, that's the question. What if we have a place where you can actually just go there? If you have a figure that you want, they have it, and play around with it. And then after you're done, you can put it back in display, and you can put it whichever pose you like, and go to the next one. It's kind of like a club, per se, or kind of like a library of figures. And you might imagine this is kind of like a storefront, or maybe the back of the storefront, where they sell a lot of figures, but they have a lot of figures that you can play out first. Then if you like it, you can buy it. But the buying part is, or the store itself is another aspect of this. I'm trying to discuss. But what if you have a club, pretty much, that you can just go in and share your collection with other people, and you can also be able to access their collection and borrow them. You can go to a table, play around with it. I know it's kind of silly, but just have able to do whatever you want. Or you can have a photo shoots there. You have a photo lab, or what do you call those, photo box, and then you can take pictures with several other figures on one shot. That'll be awesome, right? And or someone out there can help you collect them all, in some sense that you're kind of collecting as a group. You don't have to have everything on your own, but some other people are helping you. If you want to have all the Iron Man in one shot, someone will lend them their Iron Man, and you can take the photo shot. Because after that, you're gonna put it back to the shelf, and it's gonna be back on display. So you kind of get the idea of what I'm trying to get at. I hope so. And in the same sense, it's kind of nice if you think about that. And in terms of costs, not. I mean, you're really seeing the savings there, that someone's really helping out, trying to collect your figures. And also, if you think about it, like I mentioned before, I'm spending about 300. Well, it's not always 300. Sometimes I spend less. Well, most of the time I spend less than 300. I'm not that crazy spending 300 a month. That's a bit too much. But what I'm trying to say is, instead of spending 300, what if I just spend $50 a month? It's like a membership fee. Spend $50, and that goes to the part of that goes to a pool where we buy the latest figures. And if you think about it, if $50 and there's 20 of you, that's $1,000. And let's just say 500 of that, half of that goes to buying the new figures. And not to mention, some of you might just buy your own figure, and again, you can share it with everyone else. So there's a lot more than just the $500 worth. And some of the money can even go to buying food when you do a weekly meetup. It's just amazing. It's an amazing concept. And you know, I think that's a great idea. If if someone near my area does that, sign me up. I want to go there and share my figures and try out the other figures they have. You never know, me even find a figure line that you haven't heard at all, but someone shared it to you like, oh, this is awesome, and I want to try it also, and being able someone to give you a preview of it, even being able to hold in your hand and convince yourself it's a figure for you, right? And I think that's really amazing right there. Okay, now time to looking at or being realistic about this idea, and somewhat pessimistic also. Is this idea feasible at all? For one, we need to find a place that does that. Again, a storefront will be great, but where? It needs to be somewhere near a city where people can meet up, or easily accessible in terms of transportation, or people can just drive there. Number two, members. How do we get members? I mean, you probably get advertised, but I mean, here comes another aspect of this. Another person touching your stuff. That's always been an inherent, probably you have this kind of like a doubt or trusting issue. Like, I'm letting someone play around with myself. What if they break it? That's always a question. What? And of course, you're gonna have a ground rules. With this, you gotta be respectful. I'm not gonna go in detail. It's really up to the club to make up those rules. But what if certain cases, like you're the 50th person to play with that figure, and just the joints got worn out? What do you do then? Or what if there's an exclusive figure, kind of like this Black Rock shooter? It's very expensive, and who gets to touch it? Are we just gonna have the kind of like the elite members who's contributed a lot or been in the club longer? Are they the only person who will be able to touch that, as opposed to the intermediate one or the beginners who just started? So who gets to decide that? See, that's it's a lot of issues might come up or arise with the whole club idea. And another thing is, this really doesn't help out stores. Again, as opposed to the store being able to sell up 50 figures for 50 people, maybe only 5 of them, the club will probably just buy 5 as opposed to 50. That's a lot of difference, and that's a loss of profit for the store. Well, in some aspect, we're just talking about a small scale club. This is not all over United States or all over the world. We're just one group in one city. So maybe we just feel sorry for that whoever is selling in that city. It's a loss for them. But that's another. It's just, I just want to throw it out there. Yeah, and pretty much it's a lot in terms of trust issues. Who gets to touch the figure? Yeah, so I don't know. For me, I don't mind as long as they respect the figure as if it's their own. It's you share it with everyone else, and you treat it with respect. But again, there's wear and tear. You just can't help that. And it's part of the figures, and over time some joints will just break. It's just inherent design flaw of the figure. Yeah, so it's a nice idea, but sometimes you just gotta think realistically. Is it feasible? Is it possible? But who knows? If enough people are really into it, you might just make it happen, and it'll be nice. And sign me up. I want to be there, and I want to share my collection. Again, I just want to be able to touch the figure, give my impression of it, do a review, maybe do a little bit of photo shoot, and that's it. And I can just share it to another next guy who wants to try it out. And again, a great idea, and pretty much I think that's it for the discussion. I kind of rambled on for quite too long. And I want to hear what you guys think of this. It'd be nice if you can do a video response if your response is a bit too long that what you can fit on the comment section below, or just leave a comment down below. What do you think of this idea of having a club where you can just drop by and try out a figure, especially the new ones, right? Otherwise, if you have any questions or suggestions, just leave them down below and I'll try to address them, like this one. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion and might do some more in the future, maybe. So yeah, so until then, this is Meads. Thank you for listening.